Hello, this is Matthew Ford. This is my Project2 demonstration for the Principles of Cloud Computing course, Fall 2019. I have selected option 1 to demo another AWS service that we haven't covered. The service that I chose was Amazon Lightsail. I have saw a lot of advertisements when being on Amazon AWS website. It's one of their top featured apps here. So without further ado, here's Amazon Lightsail. So plans can start as low as $3.50 a month. The pricing structure is really nice. We'll get to more towards the very end of this. But essentially for a flat cost, you can get a flat amount of memory, cores, disk space, and transfer. One of the biggest caveats I do think about this, and maybe the fallbacks, is the transfers. If you go outside of your plan's transfer amount, you'll be charged overages, and they do seem a little bit higher than what you would want. So it's better to pick a higher plan than what you think your traffic's going to be under. So if you go over, you don't end up going over and getting into overages. The costs do change if you're using Linux or Windows. I'm going to do this demo for the Linux. I'm more of a Linux person, but I played around with both. They're very similar. So if you go down to the, that's pricing for much in other areas. So this is pretty much it. Databases have additional costs. I'll show you that too. So let's get into it. You can get started for Amazon Lightsail for free for up to 12 months. I have 2 instances here. If you do a create instance in this, you can pick between the Windows and the Linux, and you can get a whole bunch of base applications automatically loaded on. So that's pretty nice. Down here is where you pick the class you want, and that allows you to get up, it increases more and more. They just added these not that long ago, so it's kind of nice. I think they're going to continue to add more and more base Amazon Lightsail packages. So that's pretty nice. You can add keys to it and then create, and you can even create multiple at a time. So I do think that's pretty fun. I already created one, so instead of waiting for it to spool up, I'll just show you. I created 2. One here is for us just to be able to delete. So to delete one of these, you can just come in here and hit delete. It will continue to bill you for any additional resources that you attach to it. Luckily, I don't have any additional resources attached to mine, or that one, so we're fine. The database, however, is over here. They fall under a different pricing structure. So if we go into the create database, scroll down here, you can get a database that has different amount of memory, different amount of size, and processing and storage. And those are all tiered. The slider here kind of lets you kind of see if you want to, what's your biggest, most important thing. The highly available runs, also this option, does increase the cost, but it makes it more available, just like the memories that we were able to do throughout the class when you were picking your disk type. So this is how you create the databases. I'll go back, show you my database that I have. I have one that's a Postgres and one that's a MySQL. The MySQL database has this endpoint. I attach it on that port, and you can switch this to be a public mode database, and you can kind of go into all the different information about it. You can take snapshots of it as well, manual snapshots. So a lot of the features that we saw with databases through the normal web services are all offered. A lot of ways Amazon Web Services just packages things together to makes it a little more streamlined, and it makes the cost simpler because you're kind of limited to what the starting package you picked was. So going back, here's my Amazon WordPress 1. This guy has a nice feature here within Amazon Lightsail. You can just click connect, and it brings you right to your instance. You can also add in public keys and SSH keys, download the SSH key from down here. And you can get in through PuTTY the same way that we did before. The other cool thing about this is I had this set up to start with Amazon WordPress, or just WordPress. And within here, you can kind of get your credentials for logging into I do a cat of the application password. It will give me the password. A nice feature about this is as I start highlighting, you'll notice down here lights up. I can click there and then actually copy it out of the terminal. So I can really use this like a full PuTTY session, copy and paste things in, which is pretty nice. So from here, I can show you the storage. I just have this one block of storage. You can, from the top level, come in here and add additional disk storage. The different ones are right here. So it's all based on this 10 cents per gigabyte per month. So it's not too bad. It is better to kind of pick a bigger upfront package. But when you want to expand your instance, you can definitely add on volumes. And then those volumes can actually be shared across multiple instances, so it's pretty nice. Back to here, I just have the one. The metrics are all listed in here. We can do a 1 week change, and you can see the different, most of these are kind of blank, but I did have some system checks and some other things when I created this a couple of days ago. And networking, I created the static IP address, so you can also go in through edit rules, static IPs. Oh, it's actually up at the top level. Let me go up one level. So instead of this creating disk, we can go to networking. And then from here, you can create a static IP. And then from your static IP, you can associate it with your other instances. Since we don't have another instance, we're not able to, but I already added these two. I did not attach this guy. I created a second static IP, so you can just delete the static IP. But my primary static IP is still attached to my WordPress instance. So I can go on here and with that static IP, be able to go directly to my website. This could also just connect to whatever web application you want. But that's the static IP for it. Now, you don't want to give out static IPs to people. You want to give out domain names. So that's where the domain name service comes in. It still uses you still need to get your own domain name. So using the one that we created in Route 53 over here, I added these values, or I modified these values to now point to my the domain name for my lightsail instance. So I copied these different name servers over into here. And then with that, you can add in additional Class A records to here, or even over to here. So I have one for the lightsail, which is this guy here. And as you can see, that works. And then I also have the one from Route L53, which is just over in my routing table there. So that's pretty nice. You can kind of only use this section, and then it does allow you to use other domain name services. So it didn't have to be one from Amazon. I just used the one that we had to create for one of the projects. We already talked about storage. We could add additional storage. You can take snapshots. I took a snapshot earlier. And what's really cool too is you can export this into your Amazon EC2 instance. And by doing so, you're able to boot up a box over there that you started here. So you can definitely scale things out. You can start in an Amazon Lightsail instance and then turn that into a bigger project that has the full set of features that we use throughout the class. Most things, though, are actually capable here. Anything that you wanted to do with a website, you should be able to handle all within Amazon Lightsail, which is really nice. So the next part is the other domain name service. We talked about that. So the next thing we're going to talk about is logging in. So I can actually come in here. I already copied that password. We can log in. Oh, maybe I didn't copy the password. Let's grab this. Without the space. Click here. Copy. Control V. And we logged in. When you're logged in here, you can just use this as a WordPress site. As you can see, I already added some comments, played around in here quite a bit, authenticated some things, updated my image, and yeah, just kind of demoed out the fact that you can do whatever you want with this site now that it's been created. To close, I wanted to just go over some of the cost differences. So if I go into, if I actually drag this screen down, there are different ways of doing this. So if you go into Amazon CloudFront and you give it the full oh yeah, here it is. It's the data out. So data transfer out if you're running a website on with the Amazon CloudFront for 1 terabyte, or within the where was the other one? It was ESC, just 1 general volume. With the data out, you're in your EC2 instance. So those are 2 different options that I was comparing to. So if we go into our bill, using the CloudFront services, with the data out, you're looking at about 87. And if you're looking at the data out here, you're looking at 9206. So considering that our costs over here within the Lightsail instances for a full terabyte of data out, you're only at 350. It's a really good option, and something that I think is gonna take over some of this market in the future. I feel like it's a lot easier to convince management and people for a flat rate cost as opposed to a cost that is due to change based on usage. So I think it's nice. I think it's definitely nice for some people, and for certain instances where you can definitely limit or expect the amount of transfer needs. So that's my project. I hope you enjoyed it and like the idea of Lightsail. Thank you. Bye-bye.